You most probably think, oh no, another personal trainer, another fitness thing. But hopefully when you get to know me, you'll realise, and if you see my social media, there is a lot more to me than a personal trainer or a run leader. And I'm very much part of the community, getting involved and getting other people's stories out there, whether it is through my podcast or building confidence with people, and also trying to promote positivity in my own way of Northampton when it got a lot of bad press with the council and the money. So sorry if there's anyone that works for the council and has now got their own business and on here. But yeah, I just like to, especially in these times, give as much positivity. And even in the first lockdown, I was all over the social media for my street dancing in my village in Hardingstone in fancy dress, keeping my neighbours entertained and the community spirit going. So what I want us to do, just to wake you all up, is I've noticed watching you during Louise's, how a lot of you are going into your screen, you're arching your back, and you're not sitting straight. And I'm sure you've been 30 minutes plus sitting in your chair. So I don't want you to adjust your screens, but I do want you to just get off your chair. And I just want you to wiggle your hips, because I want you to wake that body up. Don't worry about your camera and go the other way. Okay, if possible, I want you to open your hips, okay? Well, let's just wake those hips up. That's it. Now, just shake the legs. Just shake the legs. Okay, just give them a shake. Shake the arms. Do some big round circles. And the other way. Okay, roll the shoulders. And the other way. Now, look right, look center, look left, look center, look right again, look center, look left again, look center, look up, look down, look up, look down, back to the center. And I want you to give yourself a big clap, but go right back. So I really want you to open your chest. Okay, now shake again, shake those arms. Now I want you to like bend down and do a deep breath in, and then a deep breath out. One more, and out. Okay, now you can sit down. I just want you to wake your body up a bit, because it's not just about, you know, your mind and that, but you've got to look after your body as well. And we're all sitting long periods of time, and we're noticing the weight going around the middle, around the hips. Just remember, guys, we see it a lot, especially when we join offices and we get these health and safety speeches, always have screen breaks every 50 minutes or so. But we don't do it, let's just be honest, we don't. So please set a timer for yourself, use your phone, use your watch, whatever. And it is important that you do have these screen breaks, because yes, your eyes go dry, your brain does get fried, you do lose concentration, but also physically as well, you do see the effects, and it affects your mood and your mind, which I know Jonathan can highly relate to that, you know, with mental health. So that's that. So now, can we screen share? We'll go on to the other bit. I just wanted us to have a little bit of a break. Okay, now. So if you can share, can we share my screen? Okay, so this is, hopefully you can all hear me. Can I have some thumbs up? Yeah, thank you. Okay, see, as I said before, yes, this is what I do. I do Step Forward Lewis started off as a running group. I volunteered Mondays, Tuesdays and Wednesdays evenings, and I did fartlek, well, I will when COVID is over again. Fartlek sessions, which is speed play. Hill sessions, where it's hill repeats, running up a hill as fast as you can and then down again. Interval sessions, so 1 minute fast, 1 minute slow, 1 minute fast, 1 minute slow. And now, since Christmas, I got fully qualified in personal training since I've decided to make Step Forward Lewis a business. I also am qualified to do groups exercises, so I found with my runners and generally in the running community, we're very good with our legs and running to A to Z, but we're not very good at looking at our core, which is really important to keep fit. Is everyone okay? Are you still okay? Hear me? Yeah. Okay, so I focus especially on bootcamp style, HIIT, and on my workout online sessions, especially at the moment, I do workout exercises for the whole body, and I do focus a lot on the core, because the core is the main part that does need to be strong, and that helps the legs and arms and everything else get us to A to Z. As well as that, I do virtual races. I like to support charities, and there are many virtual races out there, but I wanted to make sure that we do give back to Northampton and also hit charities that are close to those that are in Step Forward Lewis's heart and those around me. At the moment, the February challenge I'm doing is for the Reynards UK charity. Reynards is where you can get like pains. I'm sorry if you do, anyone here does have it, you get pains in your fingers, and especially in the cold weather. They really suffer. And I have found, and Mark, this is a topic that's actually gone on a post on the Northampton Roadrunners due to my virtual race. It is surprising how many people actually suffer with it. It's quite high amongst the running community. Again, here I've put community, as you can see on the right. I'm Northampton Roadrunner, Northampton Park Run Director. I'm one of the 8, and I do a bit more than just being a run director. Since I've been one in the last 3 years, I'm very much about making Northampton Park Run available for all. And when I say that, I actively encourage wheelchair racers to join us. We had a Deaf Awareness Week, and it is brilliant now that we have got deaf park runners. These runners have now gone into clubs in Northampton. It's very slow, but we've made a start in the running community of getting deaf involved, and I'm hoping that once lockdown is over, that we all continue to, you know, build on that. And visually impaired, we were just starting to get that going. We also at Northampton Park Run have 5K Your Way. We were the 6th park run to bring this to a park run in the country, and what it is where we encourage those with cancer, their family and friends to attend the park run on the last Saturday of the month. And it was such a shame that before the lockdown happened and park run stopped, we were getting up to 16 members, which was brilliant. Most of them were from Breast Friends, who have been really active with me and one of the biggest supporters of Northampton Park Run, and I couldn't thank them enough, and hopefully they'll help me get bigger with that when we go live again. Also in the community, we had a little boy at the park run called Rowan. You'll know him maybe as Rowan's Reality. He's an 11-year-old boy who has undiagnosed genetic diseases, who, you know, pray that he does live to adult life, but he's having the best life at the moment, and, you know, try and do what we can for him. He needed a new wheelchair. His mum and his carer got to £2,000. I asked a group of park runners who would want to join me raising the other £4,000. I'm proud to say that with the shoe run that went live, the chicken run, which is Binty's graffiti chickens around Northampton, and with an auction with rugby player Courtney Laws and Tony Woods, I think. Sorry if you're a Saints fan, I'm not that keen on I'm not sure on my players' names. Helped donate, and we raised the £4,000 within 8 weeks. So to give Rowan that chair, and yet park run's not started yet, so that was a shame. So, but when he does, we now know Rowan can take part in his new wheelchair. And finally, as I mentioned in the beginning, I've got the Running Tales podcast, which is runners from Olympians to local park runners who have inspirational stories to share. So sorry about that if I've waffled on a bit long, but I just wanted to know there's more to me than just being a runner and a personal trainer. So next, exercise. You think fitness club, you know, it's all about exercise, but it's not. There's more to it. Diet is a huge part of it. Now, I'm not that chiseled personal trainer. I do have weight, and I'm proud of my curves. I'm sorry. I do like my weight, especially in this time of the year, keeps me warm. But I do know a lot of that, even though I do a lot of workouts and I do a lot of running. I do know food is a big problem with me, but I love my food. I love my chocolate. But I do know there are limits. So what I want you guys just to do quickly is go down the list on the left and just be honest. Are you a low, medium, or high in these items? And I'll give you a minute. I love it.
I'm jealous. I want to do that as well. Jonathan showed me how to do it. I can't remember.
If you go to view options at the top, there's an annotate button.
Okay, I love it. This is good. A lot of you are high in the veg and fruit. How's that? Come on, be honest. I'm expecting that snacks to have a few more ticks. Alcohol. Oh, okay. Is that because it's dry January that you're ticking the low?
No, I haven't drunk in about 15 years, so definitely no alcohol, apart from maybe Benadryl or something.
Okay, this is really good. Okay, have you all finished? Oh, there's a few of you with very low water intake. Low salt, that's good. Okay, so you all know roughly where you are. You all right, Cecile? Yeah, let you put yours in. Thanks, Sally, for the happy face. Okay, so if I show you where you should be. Oh, that's my dog barking. Right, I've got a delivery. Okay, so does that surprise you? You can come off mute. I'm just curious to know, does that surprise anyone?
Protein surprises me.
Yeah, I was shocked that it was medium. We've got quite a healthy bunch amongst us, really. That's good. But is it because it's January and you are more self-aware in that month of yourself? Or are you just generally, this is a month by month?
Michelle, are you saying that, so the green is where we should be and the red is where we shouldn't be?
Correct.
Right.
There's always a difference between what people say they do and what people do as well. You've got to understand when you're doing qualitative research. You probably
Protein.
want to multiply a lot of alcohol intake by 2.
Wine is good for some people.
Wine in a box. Is that because you drink a box of wine at a time?
Yeah. You need to have a column at the end that says how honest were you usually with your answers on surveys as well. Then you might different responses.
Oh, well, I just thought this would be an interesting and an eye-opener to you, because if you do feel that you are bad in an area, maybe going forward, that's something you could work on. But it looks like generally a lot of you are quite healthy, but we have got quite a few mediums on the takeaway meals and the snacks and the salt intake. We all know we should reduce our salt.
I think for us the takeaway meals are probably more medium than they would normally be, because it's kind of part of our treat at times at the moment, because it's quite limited on what you sort of can do. But we seem to go through a flurry of having quite a few, and then we drop it thinking, well, that's no good. But probably once a fortnight, I think we would indulge ourselves in a takeaway. And then I don't think too much about what it is, because I'm thinking, well, probably whichever option, it's going to be not so great. But yeah.
Can I urge you all to really, really, really pay attention to what you're eating, especially in lockdown. It's not, it's not good enough to just say, oh, it's lockdown and this one won't hurt, that one won't hurt. That's what happens. We then get lulled into a false sense of security, eating crap and rubbish, and it's the build up that causes the problem. And it's really, really important. I better get off my soapbox now. Back to you, Shell. Sorry, but it's so important. It really is.
No, I'll tell you something, like, since obviously, as you know, I've been doing the qualifications and everything and studying more in the personal training side. With the whole grain foods, it was when I was told, when you eat white bread, white rice, white pasta, it actually does nothing to your body. It affects your body. Like with me, I get swelling, I get IBS, but there's no goodness in white bread, white food, white pasta. And it's weird, that's just sunk in, just something as small as that. So now when I go shopping, I'm like, why do I buy that? It's just doing nothing to me. My body is a temple, really hits home. But don't get me wrong, I still grab a bar of chocolate, but it's small steps. If we just take small steps, it builds up.
At the end of the day, isn't it? Yes, you can use your common sense. You know what, and I think this is a really good reminder, and I find this really helpful because I do a lot of running and fitness stuff, so kind of very aware of these sort of elements. I think it's about sort of moderation, and it's tough times, so you do what you do for to kind of bring those little sort of sparkle moments. But yeah, it's moderation is a big thing for me, and making sure there's that balance across all the different areas.
Do you know what I think with a lot of, I used to be a PT. My area because I've been in wellbeing now since about 2010. I was a personal trainer, and I specialised in women's weight loss. And in my experience, what I found was the most important thing. I mean, all this stuff, definitely diet, exercise is actually probably, I don't know if you'd agree, probably one of the least important ones. Yeah. Sleep. And I think the number one factor is, beyond all doubt, in everyone I worked with, it was your emotional state. So when you look at all those foods and not only the impact on our certain types of processed carbohydrates, what they have on our blood sugar, which our blood sugar dictates our mood to some degree, high blood sugar, high mood, low blood sugar, low mood. That's where hangry comes from, and your blood sugar crashes and you just want to strangle someone. But I think what I found in my experience was when you help people to manage their emotional state using things like, EFT and tapping, all that stuff, all the rest of it just falls in line. Because I know for me, I used to eat, when I struggled most with my mental well-being, I used to really struggle with balancing my blood sugar. And the only thing I could do to lift my mood was eat sugar, which brought the inevitable crash. And when I actually learned the technique, things like mindfulness, meditation, that stuff helped me work with my inner world. All your external world is a reflection of your inner world. So you get the inner world in place, and then everything else falls in place. And now I don't crave all those foods. I used to crave chocolate. I could eat 6 Mars bars in a row. Yeah. I was awful. I would guzzle them, and it was like then I'd wake up afterwards. It's like I'd been in a trance and look at all the Mars bar wrappers and feel really bad about myself. And I used to be in like fitness DVDs and stuff, so I had a lot of pressure on me to look a certain way as well. which those things really collided. And I actually ended up with an eating disorder. If you'd seen me 10 years ago, you said, wow, look at this guy, looks amazing, not knowing how screwed up I was inside. So when we look at all these fitness models all over the place, I mean, I was in a fitness DVD with Alex Reed. I was asked to do one with Mr. Motivator. And again, you'd have looked at me and thought, what a healthy guy. But I was destroyed inside completely. But when I learned all the things, the inner world techniques, everything else fell into place. But for years, I struggled with it. But once the inner world was taken care of, the outer world just became a reflection of the inner world.
Oh, thanks, Jonathan, for being honest there. Okay, so hopefully now, what you were saying, I always talk about fitness goals because it is January and this is the 1 month you can guarantee where everyone's saying, right, new me, this is what I'm going to do. So I wanted to talk about number 1, targets. And Jonathan, you can back me up most on this. Make sure that you set small, realistic targets. Okay, if you set a big one, I'm going to lose a stone within a month. You've got to be honest with yourself. There's too much pressure. It's not going to happen. If you say maybe I'll lose £2 this month, and then you lose more, then you get that little bit of, extra happiness inside because you achieved it and you went beyond. But do set small targets. Because as soon as you break the targets, it brings you mentally down and you're unlikely to carry on the journey that you initially wanted to set out for yourself. Number 2, down at the bottom right, is keeping a track of your progress. Write down, record, how you're doing each day. If you're having a bad day, put it down, put your moods, put what you ate, put why you feel so bad. Okay, but no, the next day you'll be back on track. Number 3 at the top, understand that success is not linear. There is a journey. You are going to have bumps. Number 4, don't be afraid to ask for help. So yes, you got me. So, but we're very much, especially at the moment. We're inside. You might feel restricted that you can't ask for help. That we are out there. I'm offering online classes at the moment and trying to boost that way exercise and fitness to get people going. So, do look for it. Help is out there. Number 5 is reward yourself the smallest of wins. So if you do reach that £2 weight loss, then treat yourself, to an item of clothing. Not necessarily has to be a food, okay? But do reward yourself. Right, mindfulness, and Jonathan did touch on this as well when he was saying about your inner self. Mindfulness, and a lot of us are aware of this at the moment. So I just wanted to say 5 tips my way, and hopefully we can talk more on this because I would be interested to know what you're doing for yourself, especially during this lockdown. Now, number 1, and it's a huge, what can I say? I'm seeing a huge increase on walking this lockdown. And it's true, you should spend more time in nature. Now, if you are in Northampton, we have there's a Facebook page called Northamptonshire Walks. This lockdown, it's become so popular, and seeing people's pictures, the routes they're taking, I'm learning a lot about Northamptonshire and what else is out there just through this Facebook page and from people just exploring. It's really amazing to see. Obviously runners are going out, and it was lovely yesterday. One of my wheelchair users that comes to my group and comes to the park run, Carol in Corby, even though she did less than a mile in her wheelchair because she got stuck in the snow, she was just glad to be out down the street and just be outside. Number 2 on the bottom right. Now, you must be thinking, oh, this is about food, but it's not. Well, it is. It's saying, take your time, eat slowly, pay attention to what you're eating and how your food looks and tastes. I'm on Instagram, and I love going on Instagram looking at people's food pictures of their meals, and especially if it's colourful, I'm like, wow. And I do tend to comment, and I do tend to find out what the recipe is, how they're doing it. I'm not sure if others are the same, but that's just me. Number 3, as you can see at the top, practice meditation and focus on your breathing. I know it sounds stupid, but sometimes you forget to breathe properly. We don't take those deep breaths in and out. So I suggest, you know, when you do have that bit of time away from your computer, make part of the process of taking a few deep breaths in and out, and just, you know, connect with yourself. Number 4, as you can see down here, a lot of us like to listen to music and what others are saying. Well, you know, podcasts, especially in the last year, has become very popular. I have my own one, as I've mentioned, Running Tales. I know Elaine on here has one. Hopefully, if anyone on here has one, please share with us all. Yeah, podcasts has become very big and is only going to get bigger. Number 5, be kind to yourself. You are important. Don't forget that. While we're on this topic, has anyone got anything to say on mindfulness?